Hey everybody, welcome to Jasmine's Way. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Also, make sure to like, comment, and hit the notification button so you'll be notified each and every time a new video is uploaded. So I know it's been a minute for those of you all who watch me, but I had to do a video today. Everybody, you know, we all know what happened, the bad news about YouTuber Llips. And if you know me, you really know my channel, you really watch me, you know that was my favorite mukbanger. I've always said it, hands down, Llips. So the news, of course, it's very shocking, still shocking. But I wanted to do a video. I know his sister did an interview last night with Big Belly Bob, who was one of Llips' friends. And I actually learned about Big Belly Bob from Llips. Llips did collabs with him. And, you know, shared them out, and I subscribed from Llips' channel. And so I just want to talk about a little bit about how Llips even became like my favorite YouTuber. I used to watch Shay Snacks, and I've said this in the past on my videos. Shay Snacks, who is a mukbanger, she doesn't really do a lot of videos these days on YouTube, and that's all I used to watch. And then all of a sudden Llips' channel came in my recommendations, and I just clicked on them, and from that day of clicking on him, I continued to watch him. Like, I never stopped watching him. Llips, the reason why I really enjoyed Llips, because I felt he was truly authentic, was being his authentic self. Also, he always had meaningful conversation. Like, he literally every time, if you go to his channel, if you don't know him, or if you were subscribed and really was one of his supporters, you know, no matter what, that man had something meaningful to say. And it's hard sometimes to have something meaningful to say, especially if you're doing videos regularly, but he always did. And, you know, and we all know that unfortunately his significant other, producer, you know, took his life. And, you know, people have been talking about just the issues that probably was going on in their relationship, you know, and etc. But Llips also used to do family vlogs that I really used to love. Like, this man would get on the road with producer and his daughter, be in the car, like literally holding the car for hours while they traveling, going, because they lived in Georgia, but then they would be traveling to go see family, and I don't know if it was in Mississippi, but some part of the South, and he would be on the phone for hours, like talking to us and vlogging. And I used to like that. I remember one time they took us inside a museum down south, some museum, and he was like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'm gonna let y'all see, And I just enjoyed it. Like, even when he would be with his family down south, when we go visit them, he'll just have the camera on. They'll be just chilling, singing music, playing music, all that good stuff. One second, y'all, I need to get some water. My apologies. But I used to enjoy it. He would go to amusement parks on vlogs, everything. And his food he ate, to me, the reason why I love seeing him eat, first of all, he could throw down on some food. But secondly, all of his meals were always, I would say 95% of the time, homemade by him or production. They were homemade and they looked good. And yes, he used to eat every part of the pig, but if you were a true Llips supporter, you know that he grew up on a pig farm, like their family did. And the sister said it last night, but I knew it before that because I really watched Llips. And I'll never forget, like, y'all, because he used to eat every part of the pig. And I, like, my family is from the South, so I know, you know, a little bit about pig ears, you know, the pig feet, stuff like that. I cannot eat it. I, you know, dibble dabble in some chitlins. I ain't gonna make that up. But I remember one time, you know, see, we eat ham hocks. I remember one time I got up out my bed at night and went to the grocery store to buy some ham hocks. Mind you, I don't even like ham hocks, but he was making them look so good. I got up out my bed to go to the grocery store to go make me some ham hocks. And I cooked them and couldn't even eat them. But, you know, his food just looked amazing. And, you know, we all know he had recently had a heart attack. I forgot the name of it. It was like that quiet type heart attack that come. And he, you know, survived it. So, you know, his sister did the interview and she said he actually passed away on April 22nd. Production is in jail. She said that I believe she said, well, I don't believe, she said that production shot him. And he had been in the hospital, I think, like 6 days before the family found out. And she said she forgave him. She wasn't upset about, I ain't gonna say she wasn't upset, she forgave him about what he did, but she was really more so upset at the fact that he didn't call them in that 6-piece time period to let them know that, hey, your brother's in the hospital fighting for his life and what went down. She said that it was the both of them, you know, they would, you know, both of them would be, you know, kind of at each other, whatever like that. So she just, I think in her mind, she doesn't know what really went down that day. I know some people are saying Productions was the aggressor, and some people are trying to say Llips was the aggressor, not the sister. I kind of think like what the sister's saying, just from reflecting, that it probably just was the both of them, you know. And she said they were in a toxic relationship, and this just goes, one thing I know Llips will want us to really take from this, and God rest his soul, and I pray that his soul is at peace with God. But one thing he would want us to take from this is, if you're in a really toxic situation, get out of it. Get out of it. I don't care how much you love the person. I don't care what they have going for them, this or that. It's not worth it, because no one was going to think that this April that we would be, and I'm sorry, it's a car. No one was going to think that in April we would be on YouTube talking about Llips is gone. Like, real talk, like, this not even funny to me. It's sad, because I really did like Llips. And it's hurtful that he's gone. Some people were saying they can't understand why his sister's saying she forgives Production, and she says she's a Christian. But if you are a Christian, it's hard to forgive people that do things wrong, and especially like taking somebody's life. And in time, you can learn to forgive anybody. You have to pray about it. You have to ask God to help you to forgive. If you really truly a Christian, you know, it takes time. I mean, especially in a situation like that, some people wouldn't be able to easily say it how she said it, that I forgive him. You know, some people be very angry because you done took their relative. But, you know, like I said, I've heard people say, how can she say that this is that? But she says she's a Christian. If you're really truly a Christian, you have to practice you have to practice forgiving people, and sometimes it takes time. It might not happen instantly. Trust me, I know. You sometimes have to pray on things and ask God to help you to forgive individuals, and it's a process for many, especially in a situation like what went on. But, and sorry if my eyes were up in the air looking at stuff. I'd be like watching my environment and also just processing my thoughts, trying to get them out smoothly. But I'm going to miss Llips. I'm going to miss like going in his videos, seeing his newer videos. I know we can binge watch his old ones, but he kept us up with what was going on in his life. Like, and I'm going to miss that. I haven't done a video in a while, and I when I first heard about it, I was, you know, wasn't going to do a video. I shared some stuff out, and then, you know, I just was like, you know what, this is like one of my favorite YouTubers. I got to do a video on my channel just to show him love, you know what I'm saying? Because I really was a true supporter, and I've done commentary on a lot of mukbangers, some not good commentary sometimes on them, and I've stopped that. You all know I don't do the commentary on the mukbangers, but Llips was somebody you would never gonna hear me talk about, like in no type of way, shady way or nothing, because I really rock with him. But on that note, I just, you know, pray that his soul is at rest, and just that we all can take from this experience to don't stay in a toxic situation, because it could actually take your life. And on that note, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, consider subscribing. I love you all. I miss you all. And bye.